Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip, and we are live talking about the Rebel Reaction Extreme Rules 2020, the horror show they called it. And it was probably a bit of a horror show. It probably was. I don't know. We got to start getting fans back into these arenas so that they can stop doing these cinematic movies and bullshit. Each one is getting worse and worse. Just worse and worse. And as good as the Boneyard match was, everything else has just been awful. Truly just awful. And even this one, even though again there was some nice moments, I think with Alexa Bliss was kind of nice. I like that, but it was absolutely dreadful. It really was. And tonight was a nice night of wrestling. Nice night of wrestling. I don't think there was nothing on this show that was bad. When it comes to the wrestling, there was maybe some bad endings, something like that. But the bad thing was a swamp fight, and I'm not even going to give that a rating. So that's just not even going to be a rating at all. But let's go ahead and let's jump into the entire thing. Let's start from the beginning like we always do. Kickoff show, KO versus Buddy Murphy. This was a very good match between these two. I think this was something where I think that if Kevin Owens won, Buddy Murphy couldn't be at ringside. That's at least the way I see. I didn't necessarily hear them say that, and I don't think it was announced. But that's the way that you were kind of talking like they were talking like that. If Buddy Murphy didn't win this match, he wouldn't be able to be at ringside for the match later on in the evening with Rollins and Rey Mysterio. So it was a good match. Kill won with the stunner, and there you go. Had some very nice work between these two guys, and they did excellent jobs. So loved it. I gave it a 3.25 star. So it was really really nice. Good work there. Um, then we start off the show proper like as a tag team match between the New Day and Shinsuke Nakamura. It's a tag team tables match for the titles. Tag team titles tables match. All the alliterations, but it was really really good. We had some nice spots there and there. Um, I'm guessing because they was in such a confined space, they couldn't necessarily do everything they could do if they had a lot more room, like if they were in an open arena, something like that. They couldn't do the things maybe that they could do, but they worked with what they had, and loved the spot where the Big E was trying to. Ooh, excuse me. Big E was trying to push Cesaro off of the ring with this spear into a table, but he miscalculated, and it was just a spear like that. It's really really good stuff here, but the ending was the double stacked tables that Kofi went through. Surprisingly, I was surprised Cesaro and Sensei Nakamura won the titles. So they really have built up Cesaro and Sensei Nakamura real good. I mean, I call him Sheamus, but it's Cesaro and Shinsuke, and they really just and they really built them up good because they pretty much beat the New Day like in 3 times, before coming into this. So you just immediately thought, well, they've won 3 times in a row. They weren't going a fourth. They won a fourth. They won the tag team titles, and that was really really good. Once again, part of me feels kind of bad, and I feel like this is supposed to be the Forgotten Sons, and because of everything that went down with Jackson Riker, after the stuff with the George Floyd protest and everything. Um, they seem to be have not, they seem to be taken off of television. Not necessarily, I guess, because they're being punished for Jack and Riker's um, Jackie Ryder's for being spoken out. I don't think that's the case, but I think what it's the entire thing about military in America. I think they probably want to try to keep that down. Although they recently just turned Lacey Evans, who's a former Marine, former soldier, turned her heel for some reason. If you would think they would have kept her baby face because of that, but whatever. Um, I think this is supposed to be the Forgotten Son spot. But it was but Cesaro and Sheamus. No, see, I said it again. Nakamura and Cesaro, they take it and they've taken the ball and they run with it, and now they have the SmackDown Tag Team titles. So here we are. I had it at 3 stars. Thought it was a nice way to start off the show. So then next we had the SmackDown Women's Title match between Nikki Cross and Bayley. And I really was hoping again that we would see Nikki Cross win this. I really was hoping for a Nikki Cross win, but they did not. I was hoping for it. I knew there was a possibility that they wouldn't do it, but they would probably try to go another way, and that does seem to be the way that they have gone. They have gone the way of you know either either not doing the match at SummerSlam between Bayley and Sasha, or them not necessarily, or them building Sasha and Bayley up and tearing them down before they go after each other. So, and unfortunately, that means that Nikki Cross didn't get her opportunity. She was cheated out of it. There's some really good stuff in this match, but so at the ending, Sasha Banks gave Bayley some brass knucks and gave her a once over in the gut, and then Bayley hit that shitty finisher of hers to retain. I would rather see her go back to the Bayley than doing that garbage thing that she does. It's awful. Um, but Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's Championship again. Very nice, very good. 3 stars. Next was supposed to be the United States title match between Apollo Crews and MVP. Um, Unfortunately, Apollo Crews was not able to be medically cleared to wrestle. Now, they claimed on television that it was like a bulging disc in his neck from the full Nelson. However, as we know, there was a breakout of COVID-19 about 3 weeks ago. And it was a big breakout. Some has been calling it, 20, 24 people. Some people have even said it's 30, 40. It's 30, 40 people. And we knew there were like some people like Adam Pearce, Caleb Braxton, who came back this week to SmackDown, Renee Young, and a few others who had caught COVID, and they knew there was also a wrestling title. And throughout that week, we've seen some stars that are missing these past couple of shows. Daniel Bryan, who's been at home, he's not been on television. He's not been at the show. Um, you know, we've also seen Austin Theory be missing. We've seen the Street Profits be missing. We've seen, and although Angelo Dawkins did have a child, still we have seen them on television. Um, and we've not seen Apollo Crews. And there's some speculation that maybe that has something to do with COVID-19. The reason why all of these players have been off of television. Who knows? But they did not have the match tonight. MVP wins by forfeit, apparently. So, and he crowned himself the United States Championship, the title that he had already made and everything like that. So, I don't think that's how I think they were saying that that Apollo Crews is still the United States Championship. They were saying that as they were walking back up the ramp. But yeah, MVP crowned himself the United States Championship. I do think he gets the win, though. I do think he gets the win. I think he gets the win by forfeit. I'm not sure how that goes. So, um, sorry about this. Sorry about my yawning. They just lost of sleep. But yeah, it's hopefully. I don't know. I don't know what to hope for, really, because do you hope that it's COVID-19 and Apollo is getting, so Apollo getting over? Do you hope that it's actually a bulging disc? I would figure if it's a real injury, he would have to. They would, they would they would take it off of him. They would take it off him if it was a real injury. Um, so I think this is just the COVID-19 stuff, and we'll see. We'll see if he's on Raw tomorrow, uh, and if not, let's see if he's on Raw next week. And then I think if he's not on Raw next week, either this week or next week, then we may have a bigger problem than what it is. So we'll have to totally wait and see. But I think he wants to do this. So so yeah. So that was a dud. Unfortunately, no match there. Then we had the eye for an eye, which I actually thought the eye for an eye would probably be the main event. I thought it would be the main event. But I can see why they put it here with the way they did it. And we talked about Backlash last month, and they gave Edge and Randy Orton the match, the moniker of greatest match ever, and apparently they did that so that when people Google what's the greatest wrestling match ever, it comes up Edge and Orton, right? They did that so that could happen. Um, But I think and we are, and it was a great match. I gave it 5 stars, even though it probably wasn't 5 stars. It probably was more like 5.5, 5 3/4. It probably was more like that, but I did give it 5 stars. Um, and it did really good, but it wasn't going to live up to it. And I think that this one here is it was given, unfortunately, a stipulation where it just it wasn't gonna make anybody happy, and it wasn't. Everybody thought that it was a done stipulation to begin with, and how was you gonna do? How was you gonna pull somebody's eye out of the socket and or anything? And it was just it was unfortunate. So. And the way they did, it was talking about that we were going to get some CGI, doing this pay per view, and I thought maybe that would have been an interesting way to do it. I thought maybe that's what they would have done. Maybe that because I was actually surprised this match was done live. Most of the matches done tonight were done live. The pre-show match was pre-recorded, and of course the swamp fight was pre-recorded, but everything else was done live. So I was actually surprised this was done live, especially with the CGI stuff. They would have pre-recorded this so that they could have done the CGI with the eyeball. They decided to go live with this, and what do you know? Uh, Rey Mysterio's eye comes out of the socket, and he gets Seth Rollins so sick that he starts to throw up. And uh, but yeah. But otherwise, it was again. It would have been fun. This would have been a perfect match to be an I Quit match. An I Quit match. This would have been the perfect stipulation for this match because they would beat They were beating each other like this could have been, and that's the way it could have been. It could have been that Seth Rollins was holding a stick, getting ready to hold a stick on his eyeball to the other eyeball, and Reagan said, "I quit, I quit, I quit," to save his other eye. And that in the story, or even they could have did it with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins could have been, I quit to save his eyesight. Everything could have been. There were so many ways to go, but they decided to go for this eye for an eye stuff. And again, from what I've seen on Twitter and everything like that, it didn't go over pretty well. So, the match, however, still really good. I'll give it 3 3/4 stars. Again, a very very good match for those two, and really could have been something special. Then I had the Raw Women's Championship from Asuka and Sasha Banks, and boy, I tell you, this one again was a good match. That's a really good work. I mean, they was going back and forth, and there were some things in there that was really really good, and you love to see it. And these guys did their stuff very well. They did good, and some very good close finishes. But the actual finish was crazy. They um, Kairi Sane passed Asuka the mist, and and she tried to blow it in Sasha's face, and instead Asuka blew it into the referee's face, and then the referee was blinded, and Bailey hit Asuka with the title belt, and then took the official's jersey, shirt off, put it on, and she counted the 3 and awarded the match to Sasha Banks. So it's again another crazy finish. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. That doesn't really make any sense. Doesn't really make any sense. So apparently, for as of right now, Sasha Banks is the Raw Women's Champion. We'll see what they do with it on Monday night. We'll see what they go with it. Normally, they say that the referee's decision is final, but are they really counting Bailey as the ref and not the guy who got mist blown in his face? So we'll have to wait and see. But Sasha Banks wins. I'm gonna count that for a win for my predictions because I needed that, and yeah, again, really good, really fun match, crazy ending, 3 3/4 stars I gave it. Next was the WWE Championship match between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. And the thing was that what was Dolph Ziggler could take is to have the stipulation. And what would the stipulation be? What could it be? There was all types of thoughts. Thoughts of banning the Claymore, and thoughts of TLC matches, thoughts of other type of gimmick matches, and he came up with a pretty good one. It was going to be an Extreme Rules match, except the Extreme Rules was only for Dolph Ziggler, and if Drew McIntyre got counted out or got disqualification, the title would change hands. So I really did like that. I like that situation. It stacked the deck up against Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre had to do certain things, so that because one time he had a chair in his hand and he was thinking about hitting Dolph, and he threw it away, and then other time he had a table and he was gonna. He would have suplexed him on the table, but so he had to turn around and drop him on the floor. Some really really cool stuff here from Drew and Dolph. There really wasn't even a couple of pinfalls attempts. I think there was 3 pinfall attempts in all from the people. It was like one after it was one after a zigzag attempt, right? On the zigzag from Ziggler, and then one was after Ziggler. And then Ziggler did something, and then like Ziggler went crazy, and like he did like uh, he did the thing where he did all his moves like zigzag and some other things and things like that. 1, 2, 3, L2, and he kicked out. Then he did a rock bottom, which was a 1, 2, and a kick out. And then he went for the sweet chin music, but what's his face kicked up and gave him the claymore. 1, 2, 3 victory for what's his face. So again, some really fine stuff. Really fine stuff from those guys. It was really fun. Really fun stuff. I give it 4 and 2/4 stars. Really good. I love the stipulation. I love how they worked it. And yeah, this was definitely really good stuff. Now on to Randy Orton's example. And then, of course, the swamp fight. I didn't give it a rating. I don't know who won. It was all trash and garbage, and it was just. I'm sick of the cinematic stuff. I'm sick of it. It's time to put it away. It is time to put it away. They don't need to do all of this stuff. It's just borderline stupid, and it's garbage, and it's just you can't believe anything about it, and you know call me old school, but I want most of my wrestling to be believable. As much as I like funny, you know, much as I like our truth, I also want believable. I can believe that our truth is a quote unquote idiot savant, where he can go in the ring, but he's also calling, Cedric Alexander Cedric the Entertainer, and he thinks Akira Tozawa is Ric Flair in a suit. So it's but it just at one point Braun gets hit in the back with a shovel. He turns around, it's him. It's Braun Strowman again. What? I'm talking, man. Never fail. All right, sorry, folks. Uh, Sometimes things happen like that. But yeah, it's just sick and tired of the stuff, and I don't know why. They felt like they need to do this, and somebody on Twitter said this that as soon as they started, as soon as they started doing these, as soon as like the Boneyard match get critically acclaimed, he knew this was what was going to be, thing, because they were going to try this and do this all the time, and it's just garbage. And so who knows? And now apparently they're probably going to do Braun Strowman versus the Fiend at SummerSlam. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know if that's going to be a 5-5 Funhouse match, or if that's going to be a regular in-ring match, or what it is. But I'm sick of the Fiend as well. It's Fiend is just, you want to talk about being forced down our throat. Fiend is being forced down our throats, not Roman Reigns. He goes damn about the Fiend. Really, Fiend is over. It's a garbage. It's it's not garbage, but it's just he does. I'll say it like this: he doesn't need to be put in title matches. That's what he doesn't need. He doesn't need to be in title matches. That's not what the Fiend should be doing. Fiend should not be about championships. The Fiend should be about, wrecking shop. And if he happens to get a title, fine, but he should not be chasing one. Yeah. So yeah, that's my review of Extreme Rules. All again, a good, entertaining night, but totally could have been a whole lot better. Whole lot better. So, yeah. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought about Extreme Rules tonight. Let me know what you thought about the matches, what ratings would you give them? And yes, big question. Is it time for WWE to stop with the cinematic matches? I say yes. Time to stop with the Fiend as well. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go to patreon.com/AJTrip to become a patron. Once I hit a certain amount of patrons, I would then open up the voting. What you want to see here on YouTube, for what you want to watch me play on Twitch, and for what you want to then hear me talk about on my podcast. As always, y'all, be good to each other. Be careful out there. And I am out.